What's going on, guys? My name is Connor and welcome to Conquest Cards. In today's video, I'm going to be walking you through my process on how I send in my sports cards to PSA to be graded with the hopes of getting back that Gem Mint 10. Now, this will be my third submission to PSA in the last 3 months. Part of my strategy with my sports card collecting and investing is to submit once to PSA. I think my first submission I submitted 7 or 8 cards. Last month was 12 cards, so I'm steadily growing that number up to the minimum, which is going to be 20 this time. I believe we're submitting about 30-ish cards. With the extended wait times to get your cards back from PSA, this is actually a strategy I picked up from Matt with PSA Collector on his YouTube channel. So I kind of took that strategy. I'm running with it. Now I will try to be as in-depth as possible in the shortest amount of time. So while I will walk you through step by step, there might be things I missed along the way that you can let me know in the comments below. And maybe I can make a future video on some more in-depth processes into preparing your cards for submission. But in this video, for the purpose of this video, we're just gonna go over the basics. All right, so before we get into the step-by-step process on how to submit your cards to PSA, do want to mention real quick that I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on twitch.tv/conquest. Link, of course, will be in the description below. Also, if you do find the video informational and useful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, because I'll be coming out with a ton more sports card and sports related content in the near future. All right, we got all that boring stuff out of the way. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, so the very first step is you got to decide which cards you actually want to send in for grading. So I actually got my stack of cards here. I think we got about 30 cards here that I'm just going to go through, make sure that I, re-inspect them, check out the surfaces, the corners, make sure the edges are nice and clean. All these cards are centered and ready to go, have that Gem Mint 10 possibility. So we got a big stack of cards here. I will go through and actually, before submitting these and actually putting them back in the card saver, especially these silver cards, anything with the chrome and shininess to them, I'm going to go through and actually clean the cards. So I'll take a paper towel and like a microfiber cloth, or I have one of these sunglass cloth that works pretty well, and I'll just gently go over the top of the surface and clean these silver type cards. So I'm not going to go ahead and show you exactly that process. I might do a separate video on that, but we got quite a few refractors, prisms, hollows, silvers, and things like that. I got a lot of 2016 optic, which is just going to fall under that $12 per card rating fee. So, and you're also going to want to go through your cards and organize them by similar cards. So I got a lot of 2016 first year optic cards, so I'm going to go through and put all the optics together, and then within that group, we're going to put all the Phillip Rivers together. I got quite a few serial numbered Phillip Rivers. I'm going to put all those together. Got 2 Jerry Goff X Factor die cuts. I'm going to put those with the optic pile, and I got a few single cards here. But you generally want to organize them, so it just makes the grader at PSA, it makes their life a whole lot easier. So I got a couple other Phillip Rivers cards. You got a Bowman Chrome refractor that can go by itself there. Got a bunch of Aaron Rodgers first year select 2013 that I think will go up in value over time once people realize how good the select brand of cards are. So go ahead and group all of these together. Go ahead and put the Vince Carter basketball, since it is a select card, very similar card, different sport, but similar card. We got a bunch of KGs, rookie cards that can be really all next to each other, all Kevin Garnett. So generally, I like to group them first by set of cards and then by the player. So if you got a bunch of singles, I like to group them by the player. So then we got a couple of Jason Williams 1998 tops. I will go with the Kevin Garnett's, and got a single here. Barry Bonds, I'll just go ahead and put that on top here. That'll be number 1. All right, now that you got your cards in order, you're going to want to go ahead and head over to PSA and start your submission. All right, guys, here we are on psacard.com. What we're going to do is go ahead and start putting together our submission on the website, so we can go ahead and print out our shipping labels and ship them off. So here we go. We can go over to this tab called Submit Now and start our online submission order. A quick few things to note before we really get deep into this part is that under the norm of the past few months and the last few years, the economy service is the lowest priced for non-members. So they've actually temporarily suspended this service due to the high demand of the sports card industry right now. So the minimum price per card is actually $50. So if you're not a member, I highly suggest going up to log in, making an account, and then you can scroll down to the PSA Collectors Club. Can't really join gold or platinum, they're all sold out of vouchers, but I went ahead and joined silver. It's 59 bucks. Gives you access to the value pricing. So if we go ahead and look at the Collectors Club value pricing, this is what we'll be paying. Of course, we're not sending in any vintage cards, 1971 or earlier. We are looking at modern cards. So 1972 to 2016, we're going to be paying 12 bucks per card. So, all right. So being a beneficiary of being in the members club on PSA's website, we can go ahead and click Submit Now and go ahead and start our submission. This was just a test submission I started the other day here. Let's go ahead and start a brand new one. So what we are submitting are regular or small sized cards. These are just going to be your standard sports cards, standard size. So that's what we're submitting. And we're going to be selecting grading. Now, got a few options here. What we're going to be selecting is no autograph authentication. Now, if you do have some sports cards that do have autographs on them, you can select, a dual service card and an autograph grade. That's totally up to you. You're going to want to do a little bit more research into seeing if that's going to be the way to go for you. But for us today, we're submitting, pretty standard sports cards, no autograph authentication needed. We'll go down to next here. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this very well. So like I said, we are a Collectors Club member, so we get access to these value services. So what we're going to be submitting is the value modern 20 card minimum. And what you got to look at here is the $12 price tag. There's also this max declared item, or max declared value per item. Now what this means is the value of the card after it's been graded. So, generally you want to kind of guess on the value of the card if it's going to come back a 9 or a 10. However, PSA, from what I've learned and, after doing my research, PSA is very lenient on this policy. So generally, if you paid, if the card raw is worth, less than $199, more than welcome probably to just go ahead and submit it under the value modern submission. However, if you are sending in cards and, PSA 10s of that card are, going for a pretty penny, if they are going for over $1,000, you might want to reconsider submitting it in the value tier service, and you might want to consider doing it on regular, because what this max declared value is basically insurance. So when you submit the cards, you pay a small insurance fee for return shipping. And if you are sending in a super valuable card that's over $1,000 and you only submit it under this $199 max declared value tier, there's a small chance PSA will contact you and ask you to pay more. However, from what I've read and heard from other collectors, is they don't do that very often. So just something to keep in mind if you're submitting more expensive cards. But for the purpose of this submission, all of the cards after grading, even if they come back 10s, are going to be around that $200 range and below from what I can guesstimate here. So we're going to go ahead and stick to this 20 card minimum. I might do another video in the future on, a little bit more in depth on the declared value, but essentially you can go here, read more on it, and go from there. All right, guys, I decided to move my webcam so you could probably see this a little bit better. I do apologize. So let's go ahead select the value modern tier, and we're going to go ahead and start entering our cards. So the way this works, you can see is you have your number of cards, description, where you enter, you want to start with the year, the player, the manufacturer, the set name, and then card number. So we got our first card here. Looks like it's a Barry Bonds Topps 87. So what we'll do is 1987 Topps, and then I'll type in Barry Bonds, and that usually will populate the rest of it. It looks like this is card number 111. So we'll type in 111. Oh, my mistake. This is 11T. So 11T. So this is the Topps traded. My mistake. This is 1986 Topps traded Barry Bonds. Now, usually you're able to find your specific card when you start putting the year, the set, and the player's name and the number. It usually pops it right up. This database is full of pretty much any card you could think of, so it should be fairly easy to find your card. So after this max declared value, we'll go ahead and just put the 199, and then we're gonna go ahead and leave minimum grade alone. What this means, minimum grade here, is kind of self-explanatory. So if we were to select, you know, a PSA 8, you can read up here, watch the video. But essentially what that means is if you select minimum grade 8, if it grades below an 8, PSA will charge you for the grading fee, but they will not put it in a PSA case, and they will send it back to you raw. So we are gonna go ahead and leave that alone. If it comes back as 7.5, and we're just gonna deal with it. You know, I'm a San Francisco Giants fan. Barry Bonds is, you know, greatest home run hitter of all time. So I'll just keep that in my collection for the long term. All right, so we got our card entered in here. We're gonna go ahead and click save. We only have one of them, and that's gonna populate down here. So we have quantity 1, 86 Topps traded Barry Bonds. And then we can go ahead and move on to our next card. All right, now once we go ahead and enter our cards in, we want to keep them in order. So we'll go ahead and put that Barry Bonds put face down so we can keep this stack in order, because if you don't keep your cards in order, PSA will charge you an extra fee if things are out of whack here. So definitely want to keep your cards in order here. So right now we got a 1998-99 Jason Williams. So we'll go ahead and enter the year. 1998, 99, Topps, Jason Williams. And this is number 153. There it is, right on top. Easy peasy. And then we have two of these here. So we're gonna put quantity of 2. And then when you have multiple of the same card, you wanna do that max declared value times 2. So in this case, we'll do 398. And of course, no minimum grade on that. Hit save, and then boom, look at that. Enters it next in the list. All right, guys, so I'm gonna fast forward here a little bit, enter all the cards, and then I'll catch back up with you here in just a second. All right, guys, so it looks like we got all of our cards. In total, we have about 24 cards. So I thought I had 30, but looks like we have a bit under that, 24. So times that $12 fee, we got 288. So after I've done this, I will go through the stack again and make sure all my cards are in order. So I got the Barry Bonds, we got the 2 J Wills, we got all of our Kevin Garnetts, we got the Hoops, we got the Topps, Skybox, the Metal, we got our Vince Carter Select in order, we got all of our Aaron Rodgers Select in order, we got our Topps Finest Gold Refractor, Phil Rivers, Topps Finest Green Refractor. We got our 2 Jared Goff die cuts and some more Phillip Rivers. And then we have our Cam Newton, last but not least. I know this Cam is a little off center, but it's a hollow. It probably will be a 9, but small chance it might come back a 10. You never know. That's why we send them off to get graded. Really quick, I did sneak in the Bowman Chrome 2014 Russell Wilson Pulsar Refractor in there. So after we're all done, got all the cards in order, we'll go ahead and select next here. So we got $300 in card submissions. All right, so it brings you to this page, guys, and this will change up at the top every so often, but it looks like 9 to 10 weeks to enter your submission. So about 2 months, guys, a little over 2 months to enter your cards into processing once you submit them. So you guys gotta got to be a little bit patient when you do this. That's why I adopted the strategy of sending cards in every month. So, you know, I sent my first submission in 2 months ago. I sent my second one in exactly 1 month after that. So hopefully in the next, you know, by Christmas time, maybe in the new year, I'll start getting those monthly returns coming back. So we'll go ahead and scroll down. You can see a breakdown. We have our 25 items at $12 a piece, 300 bucks. We got our insured shipping. That is insurance for the shipment back to you. So if anything does happen during shipment, you're covered. So we got the insured shipping right there. We're going to go ahead and select that. You can, of course, you know, opt to use USPS and FedEx. Don't worry about the PSA voucher. This is not applicable for Collectors Club vouchers, so don't have to worry about that. I'll go ahead and input my credit card now, and then we'll go ahead and jump onto the next screen. All right, guys, now that we got our credit card entered, it'll bring you to this next page where it will show you your submission summary. So you'll have a breakdown of all your cards listed here, your order number, the service level, and the charges. So you can see here, grand total declared value, $38.75. Of course, you know, prices do fluctuate, and you know, that's not the actual value of what these cards will be once they're graded. And so we'll have to see where that road takes us when we get our cards back. So we'll go ahead and scroll down. I've read the PSA grading terms and conditions, so we'll check that. And just one more thing to note, guys, once you enter your credit card, you will not be charged. You will only be charged once the order is received and processed. So what that means is they don't charge you until the very end. So at the very end, after your cards have been graded and put in a slab and almost on the way back to you to be shipped, they will charge your card. And if they do run into any problems, you switched your card or lost your card, need to update that, they will contact you, and it's no sweat. So that brings us to the shipping part of the equation. After you go ahead and confirm your order, it brings you to the submission form, which details instructions on how to pack and ship your items. So you're going to want to follow these very, very closely. You're going to want to ship your cards in semi-rigid holders. So that's these card savers right here. Of course, they are accepting top loaders. You can submit your cards in top loaders if you like, because there's a card saver 1 shortage at the moment. But also want to make sure if you're using top loaders, you want to put them in team bags, because those cards do shift during shipping, and you want to make sure they don't get damaged and fall out. So, you know, do not place labels, stickers, or writing on the outside of each card saver. If you keep your cards in order, they'll know which card is which. So as long as your cards are in order, you're just fine. And then you're going to go ahead and pack your items into a box. You know, they suggest placing them in order between 2 largest pieces of cardboard, and then putting some rubber bands around the outside, securing them in place. And then we're going to go ahead and pack them with some packing materials, bubble wrap, whatever you got laying around the house. So let's go ahead and show you what that looks like. All right, guys, so we got our stack of cards in order here. What I did here, just cut up 2 pieces of cardboard from any old box from Amazon or whatever you have delivered to your house nowadays. You know, I'm sure you guys have spare boxes laying around, spare cardboard. So what we'll go ahead and do is place this between 2 pieces of cardboard as the submission form says to do. And I do like to cut them a little bit larger, so there's a little bit of safety room just in case things do shift here. And I got 2 big rubber bands. We're just going to go ahead and stick those together. And then stick these together here. Now, if you want to be extra secure with your cards, you could also opt to do the same with the cards themselves. So you could take the cards out, put rubber bands around the cards themselves so they stay bundled. But you'll see in my next step here, that's not really necessary. As long as you got this set up right here, you got the rubber bands around the cardboard like this. I'll actually go ahead and stretch this one across one more time so it's nice and tight. Those cards are not shifting very easily at all, even. So good to go. what I'll do here in the next step, what I like to do is put this, since we're only submitting about 25 cards, it's small enough, I'll go ahead and use a bubble mailer. All right, guys, so what I like to use is one of these, or maybe something smaller if you have it, but this is just what I had lying around. If you guys didn't know, you can actually get these for free off of the USPS website. You just go to usps.com/free supplies, I believe, and you can just get bubble mailers for free. So if you want to use these to send your cards as additional protection, you know, it's got the bubbles on the inside here. So what I like to do is go ahead and stick those in here, and we're going to go ahead and fold it up. Not necessary to go ahead and seal it, because we're going to be sticking this in a box and taping up the box to ship off our cards. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and seal up everything, because I'm going to go back and double check, make sure I got everything right. But for the purposes of the video, I'll show you what we're going to do here in the next step. All right, guys, so we got a little box here. It's just big enough for our cards. We'll go ahead and open this guy up. And what you want to do is maybe get some bubble wrap, some other packing materials that you got laying around from previous packages, and go ahead and just stuff that on the bottom. We'll put our cards in our bubble mailer in there nice and snug like that, and then put some more bubble wrap on top there. And I actually got lucky that I found this box particularly, because this is like a perfect fit right here. So you can see, you know, you can't hear any shifting around. It's solid, man. So that's good to go. We'll go ahead and tape it up and get it ready to ship it out. I mean, that's pretty much it. All right, guys, after you got your box ready for shipment, you're going to want to come back to the instructions for shipping, and you're going to want to scroll down to step 5 here. Step 4 here. You're going to want to print all pages. So what this does is it prints a breakdown of your order, and you're going to want to include these copies with PSA. So I'll show you what that looks like here. Before I do so, we're also going to want to print this. This is a submission ID label. What this is a barcode you put on the outside of the box. That way, when PSA receives it, they can go ahead and scan your order real quick, and that registers it into their computer system and sends you an automatic email letting you know that PSA has received your order. So you want to print this and go ahead and put this on the outside of the box, which we will go ahead and do. So we got our outside barcode, our barcode that's going to go on the outside of the box here. Just going to cut this up and stick it on there. All right. There we go. Got that peeled off there. I'm just going to go ahead and stick this right there. Nice and clear, so PSA can scan it nice and easy. And then we're going to go ahead and take our copies of our receipt of our order. So PSA is going to send you 3 copies. So there's 2. The first 2 are for PSA. So you got PSA 1, copy number 1, PSA copy number 2. Now you're going to want to go ahead and write on both of these copies the number of orders and the number of cards, number of items that you got in there on both of those copies. So once you got that, go ahead and just fold those up, include them in the box with your order. Just fold those up there, and boom, you're all done. Last step here, just tape it up, and then you're going to want to get either a shipping label. I like to use Pirate Ship. It's a website that gets you a very cheap shipping. Probably some of the cheapest shipping you can find on the internet, or you can just take it to your post office and they'll go ahead and take care of it for you. But I like to use Pirate Ship because you can get a little bit cheaper rates. You don't always have to ship, you know, flat rate box or whatever. You can do it by the weight, which, you know, this feels like it's less than £1, so it's going to be really cheap to ship. And that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, that's going to do it for your PSA submission. All right, guys, one more thing to note is make sure you keep a record of that 3rd copy of your PSA order stored in a safe place. So if you do need to reference it for any reason at all, if PSA needs to contact you for any reason, you have that ready to go. You can also go on the PSA website, which we will check out here. So once PSA has received your order, usually takes, you know, a few days to get there. And once they scan it and receive everything, you should be able to see it pop up on your account on the PSA website. So you can see here, I got 2 of my orders that I've submitted. PSA has actually started to grade my first order that was received. I only got 7 cards on it, but my very first time, and you know, kind of learning as I go here. So yeah, guys, I mean, very excited to get this submission off, and hopefully we can get a bunch of 10s back. That would be fantastic. You know, get that max value out of our cards there. So That's gonna do it, guys. That's how you submit your cards to PSA, at least the best way that I've found how to do it. If you guys have some more tips and tricks that I didn't cover, some cool ways to do things that I didn't mention, please let me know in the comments down below. If you did find this informational and you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also subscribe to the channel, as I'll be coming out with about 2 videos per week is my goal at this point. And also follow me on Twitch. Come hang out, ask me some questions, talk sports. Be more than happy to hang out with you guys live. So thank you so much again for making it this far. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.